what's happening? My name is Daniel Leeds, and in this video, I'm going to be making some predictions about the property market in the UK. Although, to be honest, right now, this seems to be a worldwide thing going on. There's a boom happening. Property prices are rising, and this is a manufactured boom. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is the reason house prices are going up is because the government are deliberately forcing them up. And they're doing that by incentives. And I predicted this. I said this back in June time. I said that the government are going to encourage spending. They're going to try and boost and push up the economy. Also, sellers are stubborn. I said this back in June. So even though we've been in a recession, we're going to continue being in a recession, a bad one, by the way. House prices are continuing to soar. Is that going to continue to happen? I think no. However, I think there's going to be a variation from area to area. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about why the boom is happening, will the boom continue, and where will the boom continue? Is it because let me tell you something. What's going on in Bristol is very different to what's going on in Manchester. What's going on in York is very different to what's going on in Devon. So this whole concept of what are house prices going to do is kind of a crazy one anyway, because it depends massively on the area. And you can look back at previous recessions, housing crises, booms and busts, and you can see this happen time and time again, whereby like 2008, bang, there was a big recession, London prices went and rocketed. And now in some parts of the north, they just stopped increasing. They just didn't really do much. Then in 2010, 2011, we had 8-9 years almost of crazy growth in London. Massive growth. House prices doubled in London. Now in the UK, they haven't doubled over the last 10 years generally. Over the last 12 months, they've gone up by about 7%, and that's across the UK. So they're doing pretty good right now. House prices are doing pretty good. Is that going to continue to happen? And let me explain why we're in a boom right now. And all of this, by the way, of course, is fact. No, I'm just kidding. This is just my opinion, although based on facts. But you need to do your own research. You know, you need to buy, and I always say this, only buy a property that's going to get cash flow positive. Don't buy a house and think, cross my fingers, let's hope it goes up in value. It will go up in value eventually, I'll tell you that. It's going to happen because over time, house prices always go up. In the UK, we're a small island, there's a massive housing shortage and there's an overpopulation of people. So believe me, it's going to go up. But the thing is it going to go up in the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 5 years? And the answer is no one knows for sure, but I can give you my opinions based off of what I can see as patterns, based on history, based on facts, but ultimately I haven't got a crystal ball and I can't see the future. So my prediction is that this housing boom is going to continue. And I think it's going to continue until the end of the year. I said this in another video previously, a couple months back. I was saying there's going to be a housing crash in 2021, and I still believe that right now. So there is a boom, and the reason for the boom is because of things like stamp duty holidays. See, when stamp duty holiday was announced a few months ago, that was a big deal. Because stamp duty is quite expensive, they slashed it for first-time buyers, they've reduced it for most people that are buying, even if you're an investor, and there's still this mentality at the moment, which is buy now, buy now, buy now, buy now when it comes to property, because people are wanting to buy before March 2021 when the stamp duty holiday ends. So people are still rushing to buy. During lockdown, serious lockdown I'm talking now, when everybody was locked up, like April, May time, there was over 500,000 properties that were selling, over 500,000 transactions that were paused from selling. So over that whole period of the spring, early summer, houses weren't selling because surveyors couldn't get to the properties, no one could leave their house, estate agents weren't doing viewings, so everything was paused. And then when they opened up the lockdown and they began to lift it a bit, and then they brought in stamp duty holiday, suddenly you've got people that are wanting to buy and sell anyway because they've been in lockdown for months, and they're like, all right, let's, all the opening up again of things was suddenly house prices were going through, but then with the government incentives as well, with the stamp duty holiday, it created a boom. And this is always about supply and demand. When people want something, then the thing goes up in value. And right now, people want to buy properties. And the reason they want to buy properties is because of the incentives by the government with the stamp duty holiday. But on top of the stamp duty holiday, they did other things. Like they brought, I know there was the furlough schemes and all that, but I want to talk about things that specifically relate to property, which are bounce back loans. Now you might think, how does a bounce back loan apply to buying a property? Well, when everyone thinks now's a really good time to buy a property and the government are handing out loans, And those loans are very cheap, and you can kind of do what you want with them, by the way. People were getting the bounce back loans, and they were buying properties with it. And you might think, oh, is that ethical, or can you do that? Whatever you think about that, it was happening. So suddenly people that didn't have much money have got lots of money in the form of a loan, but a free loan almost, as free as loans get. And then they were using it to buy properties. That's what the investors are doing. And then the first-time buyers are all desperate to buy because of the stamp duty holiday until March 2021. And then the pausing of all the properties that are suddenly opened again. So you can kind of see why there was a boom, why there is a boom right now. But again, in my opinion, it's a manufactured boom. And there's going to be a fall, because when things go up, they always come down. But the good news is when they come down, which they will, they're going to come crashing down in 2021. They're then going to go back up again in time. That's what happens. You can look back over the last 1,000 years in real estate and you'll see up, down, up, down, up. But overall, you'll see over time, things go up. So I think there's going to be a crash. When's it going to happen? Well, the reason I think it's going to happen probably a little bit into 2021. It's not going to happen straight away because for a start, the stamp duty holiday is right up until March. They've also announced just this month in October, they've announced the 95% loans for first-time buyers to buy houses. They announced that just now. Help to buy type thing. And I don't know exactly all the details behind it because it's not been announced yet, but Boris Johnson said that you're going to be able to buy a property if you're a first-time buyer using just 5% of your own money. Kind of reminds me a little bit about what was being said when I got started in property around 2007, 2008. It's a little bit similar. The banks are lending out lots of money. There was lots of schemes going on. They were giving out 125% mortgages, 2006, 2007 time. I got in to property 2008. That was when I was introduced to the world of investing. Bought my first house in 2009 and it was falling in value. Everywhere was falling in value. And everyone was saying to me, you should never have bought then. You bought on the top. But it doesn't matter because my first property was giving me £1,000 a month income and I just waited. And now it's doubled in value more than, and that's in Birmingham. So yes, they're going to drop. They're going to drop probably, not for a little while. I think there's going to continue to be a boom for some time. But my prediction is 2021, there's going to be a crash. And I predicted there would be a boom. I said this back in July. I said that in January, properties were going to be up considerably. I talked about this, and you can go back, you can watch my YouTube videos. I'm not saying, I'm always right on everything, but this was so obvious what was happening, and it was so obvious what they were going to do. So now, here's the thing though, okay? Some people are taking the fact that there's going to be a housing crash completely out of context and using it, in my opinion, for their own personal gain. Because here's the thing, I do a YouTube channel. I don't gain from this YouTube channel financially. I hardly have any ads on. Yes, I do joint ventures with my students. Yes, I have a training company. But I'm telling you based on me wanting you to win in property. I mean, even if you end up signing up for a course and becoming one of my students, joining Samuel 365 and getting trained and mentored, what's my intention having you as a student? Well, it's for you to win in property. That's what I want. But when you talk to a lot of mortgage brokers, estate agents, solicitors, accountants, the media, the government, they're all going to tell you stuff with their own agenda in mind. So I'm going to talk about a guy right now. And by the way, I'm not criticizing this guy. I'm sure he's a fabulous person. And his name is Adam Sutton. Now, Adam Sutton, I hope you're watching this, and I just want to say, this is not me bashing you in the slightest. I'm sure you're a top quality estate agent, but I just strongly disagree with you on this whole article that was published about you by Property Wire. And this is all recent. This is all October. This is brand new stuff. So Adam Sutton Estates. Adam Sutton says, sell now before house prices crash. And it's, the Property Wire warns Liverpool estate agent. Liverpool estate agent Adam Sutton has warned that house prices could fall once the coronavirus recession kicks in. Adam, founder of Adam Sutton Estates, spent years working in the real estate sector in London's Canary Wharf before setting up his own property business in Liverpool. Fine. He says house prices plummeted by an average of 15% during the 2008 recession. The economic turmoil we saw is similar to the financial disruption we are witnessing right now, so it is inevitable that house prices are going to crash. That's what Adam Sutton said. I completely disagree with this, by the way, and I'm going to talk about why in a moment. Adam then goes on to say this. It isn't scaremongering. It isn't scaremongering. Why would it be scaremongering? He's an estate agent. We've seen every property price fall in the aftermath of every major recession, and all the indications are that the economic climate is going to get even worse in the months ahead with the furlough scheme coming to an end. He then goes on to say, and this is the bit where I'm like, okay, maybe there's an agenda. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. Yeah, he does. But my advice to anyone thinking of selling is to do it now. Aha! Or face having thousands of pounds slashed from your property value. This dude is an estate agent that wants to sell your house. Of course he's going to say there's going to be a big crash. If you want to sell your house, he does say it. If you want to sell your house, quickly, sell it now. Otherwise, you're going to lose thousands of pounds. Why? Because he wants you to put your house on the market with him. He'll sell it, get a commission. If the house price down the line goes up or if it goes down, doesn't matter. As long as he's selling houses, that's his business. Now, listen, I'm not saying that's definitely his agenda. I'm not saying that he's lying to try and get more money. Maybe he genuinely believes that. He lives in Liverpool. He's an estate agent in Liverpool. My advice, or guidance, or opinion, whatever you want to call it, I think that in Liverpool, house prices are not going to crash. I think the house prices are going to go up in Liverpool. Why? Because 2008 recession, he was like, oh, it was terrible, it crashed, now it's going to happen again. It can't, because house prices in Liverpool haven't recovered from the 2008 recession. The prices in Liverpool, generally, depends on what part of Liverpool you're talking, but a lot of Liverpool, the houses are cheaper today than they were in 2008. So they've bottomed out. I mean, I know how much it costs to build houses, okay? You can buy houses, nice houses, in Liverpool right now for cheaper than you can build them. That's houses below wholesale price. I don't think they're gonna go any lower. They're gonna go up. They haven't recovered from 2008 crash. Boom, poof, crashed, stayed there, waiting to boom, Brexit, this, that, the other, coronavirus, they're not going to crash. They just can't. That's my opinion. So I think Adam is wrong. Adam, I'd love to have you on my channel. Let's maybe have a conversation, and I'd love to get your input. I'm sure you know Liverpool market better than I do, and I'm sure I could learn a thing or two from you, but it'd be great to have a conversation about this, because the media are publishing stories, you know, from accountants and from solicitors and from brokers and agents and these people. But I, as a property entrepreneur, as a property investor that's been in the game for 12 years, I can see right through everybody's agenda, including the media's agenda. And the media's agenda is simply to just sell stories. And they know that shocking and scary and bad news sells and travels a lot faster than good news. But here's the good news for you folks. There's mad opportunities right now. There's areas where house prices are only going to go up and up and up and up and up. You just need to find the areas. Return on investment, cash on cash ROI, which is what every investor's looking for. It's never been easier right now to find good return on investment deals. Boris Johnson is bringing new changes, scrapping regulation to make things easier for property developers, for property investors. There's great tax advantages to things like serviced accommodation. Things are booming, things are going well, but no more than right now, you need to be educated, you need to be smart. So anyway, what's my agenda? Everyone's got an agenda. My agenda is to help people succeed in property. So if I'm doing that, and if I'm helping you succeed in property, please do me a massive favor. Let me know in the comments below. Also, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Maybe you'll see me and Adam having a conversation in the studio. So subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. And if you are interested in doing some training with me, with my agenda being for you to succeed in property, then for £95 a month, you can get virtual coaching and mentoring calls from me and my team, or you can even come down to my home office, come to the studio and spend half a day with me where we can work on your action plan and help put together a plan for you, and then talk about further training should you want to do that. And I'm going to leave all that kind of information in the description below, but really all I want you to do is subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos. I hope to meet you real soon. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button. I'll see you next time.